This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. It's 227.23, show 469. Well, Nick, the markets are catching a bid today.
Yeah, they're catching a bid today to start the week. It looks like they're taking their cue from a little move lower in interest rates and a slightly weaker dollar today. So once you see those two pretty big problems get out of the way, I guess the market could catch a little bit of a bid. So you got the yield chart and the dollar chart. Both were short-term overbought and due for breathers. So the markets are upticking. We'll see how long this can last. Going into today, the markets were oversold as well. So perfect little, 1-2 punch combination for a little bounce today.
Yeah, suck in the people, right? Suck them in and then crash it, right? How many times do we see that happen?
Kind of the way it works, right? So, again, nothing goes down in a straight line. There are always bounces, and we'll see if, people bite on this one. I'm not so sure they will, but we'll see what we get today. It'll be interesting this week.
All right, so Natgas is on a tear.
Natgas is on a tear again, up another 5% this morning. And again, that turning point certainly has been pretty productive for us as it has moved higher. Full disclosure, I own UNG and UNG call options right now. I also closed out a couple of Natgas type equities as well last week for some pretty big gains pretty quickly. So it's been a very, very good trade so far. Natgas will need a breather at some point too. But I do think that this is the start of a much bigger advance higher.
And we saw Natgas really just really get killed recently, right? And it went down to really low levels.
Yeah, it was absolutely destroyed. I mean, we did look at Natgas futures trade, below 2 briefly there, and that was basically the turning point. If you go back to the 22nd of February. But remember, when you put in these kind of bottoms like this from, monster oversold conditions, big trends that were just, where equities are just decimated, as Natgas was, the rebounds are tremendous. And that's how you start new bull markets. So I think this is in the beginning of a new bull market personally.
Hey, they call Natgas the widowmaker, trading in Natgas.
Well, I mean, every equity can be a widowmaker if you don't know what you're doing, to be honest.
All right. Well, so crude is on the weaker side.
Yeah, crude's down a little bit today. It's not getting hammered or anything. It's down a little over 0.5%. But crude has a very, very big psychological level that it must hold. It must stay above the February 6th pivot low. If it closes below there, I think that's a really, really negative indication for crude in the near term. So I think traders should keep an eye on that pivot. And that's, around $72. If it takes that pivot out from February 6th, then crude's in some real trouble. But right now it's hanging in there. It's currently trading at around 75 and change. So it lives to fight another day, and it's okay at the moment.
All right. So gold is also catching a bid today.
Yeah, gold's got a little bit of a bid today, up about 0.4%. Right now, you see the dollar pulling back a little bit. That seems to be the cue for gold to get a bid. Gold was also very, very oversold. I mean, it has come down quite a bit. Gold futures still trying to hang on to that 1830, 1825 level, and that's kind of where they are today. But again, I still think it needs to back off more. And, it doesn't mean this can't be a definitive low, but we need to see more information to say that. Right now, I think it's just a bounce.
All right, just a bounce. And finally, we look at the erstwhile cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and seems to be holding up quite well.
Yeah, Bitcoin's up about 2.5% today. And in all fairness, it's held up, very well since having that January effect type rally. And the pattern is still good on Bitcoin. So I'm going to give it the upside bias for now. I think there's a little bit more left in the tank for this to go higher. And I do think when it gives me a sell signal, though, unfortunately, Bitcoin's fate is 11,000, and that has not been satisfied. So, it lives to fight another day. Those of you that are Bitcoin longs and bulls, you have more upside in the cards here. But be careful. You don't want to overstay your welcome too long, because this will revert back down.
No doubt. No doubt. We've seen this game before over and over again. It still is making lower highs, right?
Yeah, well, potentially it will make another lower high at some point here. But for now, it has a good little daily chart pattern that I think can give us one more push up in Bitcoin. And then once that high is made or the next run up is done, then the downside will begin. And unfortunately, that downside is a long way down.
All right. Well, you've been warned. And if you're anywhere near as accurate as you were on Natgas and so many other silver, other calls. Hey, we haven't talked about silver lately. I know we're going kind of out of order, but it's heading back down, $20 an ounce.
Yeah, silver is also retreating. Looks a lot like gold right now. You may get a little bit of a short-term bounce. I think there's still a little bit more correction in silver before the next buy signal comes along. So I'm hoping for more of a pullback. I'm completely out right now. It was a tremendous trade, but we are going to get back in there. And I do stand by that the silver lows that were made in the first day of September are the lows. So what I'm going to say is silver will be setting up for another big advance. We're just not at that point yet.
All right. Well, hey, that's interesting, and we'll just have to see what's going to happen. In the meantime, go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. See his latest calls. They've all been highly positive. Tesla, I want to talk about Tesla, but we'll do that on Wednesday. Apple, and so many others as of late. And while you're at it, take a look at the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. And while you're at it, send an email, kl@kerrylutz.com, and don't hesitate to write below on the YouTube channel. And that's it for today, Nick. We will see you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.